Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Crimes, Killers, Cults,
and Beer.
Although this isn't an actual episode, this is an update because we got two of them. And also, joining us once again is Matthew Brockmeyer from the Mighty Murder Coaster. How's it going, Matt?
Oh, it's going all right. Thank you very much. Howdy, folks.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you on, and Matt will be
pleasure to be here.
Matt will be on another full-length episode after this little update. but that episode won't come out for a couple more weeks because we're a little bit ahead. But anyway, we are the first podcast, or the most recent podcast to release an episode about Willie Pickton. And we did a 4-part series on it. And literally two or 3 days after we released part 4, Willie gets shanked in prison.
Wow. Bad luck.
So we have that to update you with, and we also have a BTK update as well. So.
I think just to even the playing field, that they should refine him into oil and add it to shampoos. I mean, he did it to everyone else. Why not?
That's hilarious. I couldn't agree more. But
is he a donor on his donor card? Can you donate to that way? When you have the donor on your driver's license, can you be like, well, I would like to be made into cosmetic products, and my ribs served as pork to Hell's Angels. Can you request that? No,
I don't know. I don't know, but with the Vancouver Police Department, you never freaking know. I mean,
yeah, what a mess they were.
So,
not as bad as with the old Barbie and Ken killers. They really fucked that one up too.
Oh yeah.
Well, I guess that wasn't Vancouver. It really wasn't, but those crazy Canucks.
Yeah, that was over east side. Toronto, that area.
Toronto, right.
Although we are going to cover Ken and Barbie at some point, but I got something special planned for that one.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
Are you going to do the Paul Bernardo raps? Are you going to make some songs?
I am, and I'm gonna put.
Oh boy!
I'm gonna put it to the music of Another One Bites the Dust, and
nice.
and the bass line for it is going to be dun 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 dun. So it's going to have a little extra bing in it, so that which makes it different, kind of like Vanilla Ice did with Under Pressure.
Right, because he loved that guy.
So
I rapped it, but I didn't have any music in the background. When we covered it, I couldn't resist.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my best with it, but. Yeah, but I don't.
I'm deadly innocent guy. That was his thing. I'm the deadly innocent guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dan Cummins on Time Suck did a great rap of rendition of that.
Nice.
Yeah, but I'm not going to try to top him. I'm just going to try to do something different. That's all.
We did the videos moment by moment, which was pretty intense.
Anyway, so basically this comes from the Vancouver Sun, which is a newspaper website. It used to be a newspaper where actually a paper with things typed on it and written down.
Oh, I heard about that. Was that from the 1800s or something?
Something like that.
Back during the time when they had phone booths.
Phone booths, yeah.
They had cords attached to that thing.
Yeah.
Where does Superman change now? It's some fucked up world.
Well, he could do it in the air. I don't know. But
birds do it in the air.
Yeah.
So this article was published on May 20th, and it was actually updated 4 days ago. I wonder if... Because I haven't seen any updates. Maybe he died overnight, or a couple days ago, or whatever.
I heard he's right on the edge, man.
Yeah, couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. I just wish that whoever did it could have done it about a week earlier, so we could have just ended our series with that, with him dying.
Right.
But
yeah,
There's that sense of finality. It's a nice feeling when you be able to say that.
Yeah, I need closure.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, I've seen a couple other podcasts that have done updates on this as well. So we're not the first. Even though we had the most recent Pickton episode, we're not the first to do an update like this. Damn it. But anyway, Monday, it was, I guess, it doesn't have an actual date. Oh, published May 20th. So just a couple of days, like the 18th. We'll just call it the 18th. Notorious British Columbia serial killer Robert Willie Pickton was on life support Monday after a brutal attack by another prisoner in Quebec's maximum security Port Cartier institution. Pickton was airlifted to the hospital after the assault, which sources say took place just before 2 p.m. local time on Sunday, May 19th. That was a day off. So it was a halfway decent guess.
Wow. Airlifted, man. That's royal treatment.
Well, if he's got a broomstick sticking out of his head. One source said that the attacker had earlier assaulted other inmates at the prison before moving to segregation. The attack on Pickton allegedly happened after the prisoner was then released back into the same unit as the serial killer. I thought Willie Pickton was in solitary. But
really, I don't know if they do. Canada's pretty chill, dude. Like when we covered Lucas Magnotta, I couldn't believe the privileges they gave him. He had they gave him his own little trailer where he could meet with people and stuff. And wow. I don't know.
Huh. Yeah, that's.
I mean, Carla Homolka wasn't. She took college classes. She got her college degree when she was there in the Canadian prison.
Well, you guys recently covered Leonard Lake and Charles Ng. I heard on another.
He was in solitary. He was put in solitary.
But Canada didn't want to extradite him back to the U.S. because they didn't like the U.S.'s death penalty. So the U.S.
Well, it's more complicated than that. Canada signed an international thing with all of Europe and all over the world saying that they agreed that the death penalty was inhumane and wouldn't be a part of it. And they did give Charles Ng up. At one point, President Bush was like, if you don't give him to us, because they're like, we're just going to deport him back to Hong Kong. And Bush was like, if you deport him back to Hong Kong, we will take fighter jets and take down your airplane halfway and bring him here. He almost started a war between Canada and the United States. And then Canada's like, you can have him. And as soon as the judge said you can have him, U.S. Marshals were there, and within 15 fucking minutes, he was on the airplane flying out of Canada. They didn't take it. And sure as shit, after he got taken to the United States, there was an international ruling saying that Canada was wrong. They shouldn't have given him up. But, I mean, it was too late at that point. The United States was not going to give him back. They had him.
What are they going to do? Spray our border down with maple syrup and attract...
I am personally not a pro-death penalty person. I just think a lot of innocent people get put on death row, and that's a fact.
Yeah.
Look at the West Memphis 3 and stuff.
Right.
But
those guys are
anyone
innocent.
Deserves to die, it was that piece of shit, man. He was... And the fact that... after all that, California put a moratorium on the death penalty when he got back, and he's still alive, smirking at the camera, happy as can be.
Yeah. I mean, he's a piece of work. You guys did a great series on those two chuckleheads.
Thank you. You gave me terrible nightmares, man.
I bet.
The baby stuff, and I just kept thinking about them killing babies, and it fucked me up all bad in the head.
But Robert Pickton... I mean, he only killed sex workers, and I'm not saying I'm not comparing one to the other. It's horrible, but he had. All I'm saying is he had a type, and he stuck to that type. That we know of.
Mm-hmm. A lot of Native American women.
Mm-hmm. Well, sex worker.
Yeah,
because there was a lot of white women and a few black women too.
Right. But marginalized women that he assumed rightly wouldn't be missed.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
But the correctional Pickton was speared in the head with a broken broom-like handle, according to another source, and that's the second time in a couple of weeks that we've had somebody on this show killed or one was killed. Sean Gillis. Remember Terry's, his girlfriend Terry, when she was working as a stripper, she killed that guy and was like, oh, just self-defense.
What if we have anything to do with it?
I mean, maybe they thought they were dealing with vampires.
Maybe.
Yeah.
The wooden stake, man.
Boy.
We might have some listeners there in the behind those bars that might, as soon as they listen to our show, they start going after the our.
So are you blaming us for
subjects?
Are you blaming us for the attack on Willie Pickton?
That would be a claim to fame, man. That guy.
Yeah. I was just clarifying.
So gross.
Yeah, I mean, but
it's like every woman was like, they would always talk about the way he smelled, the way his trailer smelled. He's like those boots he would wear, those rubber boots. Ah.
Yeah, I'm really happy with our series on old Willie there. I mean, it was exhausting, but I'm glad it's over. But it's
if I cover him, I'm going to learn to speak Canadian. I'm going to take the extra effort.
You gonna one up me? Yeah, then all of your listeners won't be able to understand it.
Hey,
yeah. It's gonna be a while before we cover a Canadian case again because we just did 6 in a row with a total.
Right, you went off on it.
9 episodes total. But the Correctional Service Canada confirmed to Post Media late Monday that Pickton was the victim of a major assault, but wouldn't comment on his specific medical condition. It says that
broom and brain. He's suffering from broom and brain.
He's broom and brain, yeah, broom and brain. There's a punk band namer for you, broom and brain.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The assailant has been identified and appropriate actions have been taken. And I don't know what appropriate actions means. I mean, it's Canada, so they probably gave him a medal and put him up in a mansion. And
don't be doing that again, eh? Naughty, naughty.
So we don't have somebody who can speak with you, the person says. I thought Canadians were supposed to be polite. That sounded pretty standoffish and rude.
What do they say on the last podcast on the left when they do the Canadian? They're always like, now what you want to do here, now what you want to do is stick that broom a little further in the brain.
Yeah. for maximum effect and maximum damage, eh?
Now what you want to do.
Their series on Willie Pickton was great as well, especially hearing Henry Zabrowski read that clip from his book. Oh my god,
that was an amazing series.
It was.
Their Carla and Paul Bernardo is really well too.
Mm-hmm. Although, speaking of BTK, which is coming up next in this. Their episode on BTK was really early in their existence, and they got an awful lot wrong in that one. I'm surprised.
I can't even remember that one.
It's way early.
It must not have been that good if I can't remember it.
It was one episode.
Early, huh?
It was one episode for one.
Oh,
thing.
wow. It must have been really early.
Yeah, it was.
Whoa.
But, yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, we had 2 shitty BTK episodes, but we redid them, and now we have 3 really good BTK episodes. So nice. I'm surprised they haven't redone their BTK. But
there's just so many out there.
Yeah, but sources say that Pickton had been taken to the Hospital of the Child Jesus in Quebec City. The Hospital for the Child Jesus. I don't think that is. There had to have been another post office, another hospital, another hospital.
The adult Satan hospital, the elderly Satan hospital.
There had to have been
Grandpa
another
Lucifer.
hospital they could have taken him to. Oh, they should have taken him to the frickin' walk-in clinic in downtown East Side.
Yeah,
They got to take him to the refinery, man.
Yeah, I like your idea. Render him down and have him come out.
Rendering. That's it. The rendering plant. The rendering plant.
Yeah.
Refinery.
Make him in shampoo. Put him in the shampoo.
Oh, it's a nice lotion. It puts the lotion on his skin.
But Pickton had told other inmates that he was writing a book blaming the murders of women on somebody else.
He's right. I think that he's an innocent man.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
100%.
100%. His DNA.
I don't know.
His DNA.
How
on
all
everything.
those dead women got in his freezer like that. Yeah, it's a fucking mystery.
Well, you see, they were trying. I brought them on to help out on the farm, and they were trying to clean the freezer out, and they got stuck. And apparently, icicles can be really sharp. And
it was icicles and a banana peel mishap.
Yeah, absolutely.
We understand, Willie. We forgive you. We hope that broom finds its way out of your brain.
But and then the article goes into stuff that we covered in the episode. Obviously, Mr. Pickton's caused pain for a lot of people. Blah blah blah. It doesn't really. Okay, he was eligible for day parole in February, which prompted outrage from the victims and relatives and several politicians who said that he should never be released. Now, I'm wondering if this guy that shanked him, I'm wondering if that was maybe a friend or relative of one of his victims.
Yeah.
It sounds like he was just a madman, right?
Yeah.
'Cause he had,
but maybe he was doing that to... I don't know, but
we're doing Pee Wee Gaskins. He blew a motherfucker up on death row. You know about that shit?
Yeah, we covered him.
Damn.
We did. About,
you did? Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
We did about a 2.5-hour episode on him, and
we're doing it from the perspective of the English professor who mailed him unknowingly, had no idea what he was doing, was mailing him bomb parts.
Whoa!
Because he told him he needed this shit to rig up these televisions so they could all watch football on Sundays, and he's like, I like to watch football on Sundays too. Here.
God. I got an Instacart order coming, so that's why I keep looking down, looking at my phone, because I'm not going to be able to hear them knock because I've got headphones on. So, but,
aren't you fancy pants?
No, I'm lazy. I just didn't feel like going anywhere today. But yeah, I don't know. It's just a thing that makes you go because just like, okay, well, what if this person actually knew somebody that Willie had killed, or maybe not this person specifically, but maybe like in Pee Wee Gaskins, that guy that he took out, that was a hired hit. So somebody,
he got $200, and he knew the victim as well. And he got paid $200.
Yeah,
but I mean, $200. What the fuck is even
actually,
that? I think it was just the glory of it. He's the only person who's ever killed somebody on death row.
Oh, I know. And so maybe it was something like that where somebody got in touch with this dude, and like, hey, take him out. So what he did, so he made it, so he just went on a rampage, just attacking other inmates, just to make it less obvious, because if he only went at Willie Pickton, then it's going to be kind of it's going to make you think that, oh, okay, well, maybe he was put up to this.
Or the Dahmer case, they say that the guards were probably most likely definitely in on Dahmer being killed.
Oh, I'm
and
sure.
Let that guy in there,
I'm sure. I'm 100% sure of that. I'm just as sure about that as I am about the fact that Epstein did not kill himself.
Dahmer would, when he ate food in the cafeteria, he would take the food and turn it into the shape of a body. Yeah. He would make the hot dog into a little body and put arms and legs and a little head on it.
Oh, shit.
And it really freaked everybody out. All the prisoners hated him, just hated him.
Yeah, it's Dahmer. We've said that we'll cover Dahmer. We'll cover Dahmer, and I've said that when we cover Dahmer, it'll be part 1. Will be episode 500.
Hey.
So we got a while.
That's cool.
We got a little ways to go before that happens. But so now, unless anybody has any more comments about old Willie. Anybody?
I'm trying to think of a pun using pick. I'm coming up empty-handed.
Well, he definitely picked the right broom handle.
There you go.
So on to old BTK. Damn it, I should have freaking wrote a haiku for this. I didn't think about it until...
Bacon, tomato, kill.
Yeah, the haiku. It's spelled HYKOO in BTK 363 factor X format. There's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of those on our series. I even did one on frickin' Sean Gillis too. I did a haiku on that episode as well. So that was kind of
classy.
Yeah, but okay. Now this we actually did. We actually did touch on this in our episode toward the end of it regarding the those deaths that were thought to be him, but there was no proof. We actually talk about this girl that's in this update. They've found more information on her. So, and this has to do with like an internet sleuth. Because remember, he was this calls them word puzzles and crossword puzzles or whatever. It wasn't crossword puzzles; it was word searches. Yeah, just a basic word search, but one, this person had a copy of one that had been sent to the Kansas City, KAKE TV or whatever in 2004, and it could strengthen the cold case investigation into the disappearance of a 16-year-old girl in Oklahoma and link it to the convicted serial killer Dennis Rader, BTK.
How old? 16?
She was 16.
He usually went after older women, didn't he?
Yeah, but there's evidence that we covered in this. I don't think that... Okay, I have her name. Cool. It just... But... This woman sent in a message to the police and and it had a copy of the word search in it with some new words highlighted. And the words Rader used identified places, names, or fantasies connected to what he had done, the murders of the 10 people that he was convicted of. And of course, this also led to the floppy disk, which, we can't do a BTK update and at least reference the floppy disk at least once.
They really dicked him over, man. That's a bunch of bullshit. He should be free.
He could
release BTK.
If he had just kept his frickin' mouth shut, he would have gotten away with it.
They lied to him.
Yeah.
If I send you a message on a floppy disk, could you use that to trace me?
Absolutely not.
Nope.
Not a chance.
Not a chance in hell. Oh, man. He thought he was all high-tech because he was using a floppy disk.
His church's computer.
You see these memes and everything about how people used to think that those floppy disks back in like the 90s were a lot more important than they actually were. Like the information contained on a floppy disk could, piece together a doomsday weapon that could destroy the world.
I could barely hold a program, right?
Yeah, it's like,
I
think it was like 27 megabytes or something like that. If that, I don't remember exactly. I haven't used one of those things in a long time. But
I needed like 10 or 12 of them just to load a basic game.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But they had words like Wichita, prowl, fantasies, ruse, spot victim. But an internet sleuth reveals the names Cindy, Kinney, but also Kaihika, which is the name of the street where Cynthia Kinney had disappeared from the Osage Laundry in Pawhuska, Oklahoma in 1976.
So this is 76.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. So when did the other murders occur?
I believe that the Otero murders were in 78.
Okay. So
And
this would have been one of his first ones, one of his more earlier ones.
yeah, well, this was prior to the
It would be the
Oteros.
first. Yeah.
Yeah, this was prior to the Oteros.
Interesting. And she was just a 16-year-old girl to the laundromat, and who was abducted from the laundromat.
Yeah, and
It's not really his style, though. He liked to break into houses and be waiting there when the people got home. That was his thing. But, he could have still been forming and shaping and refining his MO at the time.
and then once everything went wrong with the Oteros, he decided, I kind of like this. Let me get it right. Let that be my thing. And he got himself a glass of water.
I think he got off on just sitting in there, too. Like, because he would go in there hours before even anyone was home. He would be in there waiting for them. It's so fucking scary.
But they were never able to pin this on him, even though they were he was suspected of it initially, and I don't remember why they had initially suspected him.
Ruled him out. Or suspected him.
Hold on, let me pull up my notes from BTK Part 3. Come on. Okay, I'm just gonna read what I had. 16-year-old Cynthia Dawn Kinney was last seen in Osage, Oklahoma, June 23rd, 1976, at a laundromat. She was seen getting into a beige Plymouth Belvedere. Dennis was involved with the Boy Scouts in the area at the same time, and the term "bad wash day" had turned up in some of his writings. Also, a bank across the street from the laundromat was having an ADT security system installed on the day that she disappeared. Osage, Oklahoma was in Dennis's service area. And also, Dennis fantasized about kidnapping a girl from the laundromat. So,
I bet she told her he was a cop.
Could have. So there's all four things that point to Dennis, but Dennis vehemently denies this, mainly because he would be tried for it. And if Oklahoma charged him, and Oklahoma has the death penalty. That was right up in, in Part 3.
It'd be a different state. Yeah.
But he's not going to confess to that one because Oklahoma has a death penalty.
Right.
And Kansas does not. So
it makes total sense.
The sheriff believes that he may have come close to conclusively trying Rader for Kenny. And one piece of the puzzle was generally that Rader acted mid-morning at about the same time that Kenny disappeared. Second clue is the name of the victim and the street the laundromat was on. The letter with the word search that was received says, the person that sent it in said, don't view it as a puzzle. View the puzzle as a map that Rader created to plot his victims. Says there's hints all the way through that can't be overlooked, and it's up to us to figure out everything that he gave us and put those things together and connect the dots and then get the answers that we're looking for. We're still in the process of trying to evaluate that, sending them out, trying to get some experts on it to see what we can get. But it's pretty hard to get around the fact that Cindy Kinney's name is in there. They said there was a total of 8 markings on the map puzzle that referenced Oklahoma. Criminal psychologists reasoned that Rader wanted his murders to be cataloged by authorities. We know BTK refers to his murders as Factor X, and that some of his journals and other stuff he marked with murders. He marked murders with X's. In this particular case, everything is marked with an X. Let's see. Let me go through this real quick. Okay, that one sheriff digs at a Kansas property in Park City and apparently found items of interest, including tangled pantyhose. Rader's daughter, Carrie Rawson, said that she believes that her father may have taken more lives. I think he did too.
I mean, I've always thought that kill count sounded low for somebody who was in that game for so long.
Yeah. And like I said, the Oteros was, I believe it was 78. So this would have been 2 years before the Oteros. And so it's like, we'll never know. Well, I don't know. We might know, but
yeah. Is there any? Where did they find her body?
Her body was found. Oh, I think I had that in those notes too. Let me pull them up again. You save your notes?
Me? I don't have notes. I have full scripts, and they're like 10,000 words each. Yeah, I save them. I have like 3,000 pages of scripts now.
Yeah. Well, this just part 3 was 6,600 words. All right.
Yeah, that's a nice number.
Yeah.
That's usually we're between 8 and 10 usually.
Let's see here. No, I guess no. What I read was all I have on it.
I mean, because did they, get her DNA? Do they keep the stuff under her fingernails? I mean, because murder there's no, time limit. There's no what's the word I'm looking for?
Statute of limitation.
Statute of limitations. So in theory, they should keep all evidence. That's how they got Samuel Little. They were looking at 30. They were able to get DNA off of 35-year-old fingernail scrapings.
Well, Samuel Little, Joseph D'Angelo, and our guy that we're about to cover, the NorCal rapist. I mean,
yeah.
There's all sorts of. Pretty much, if you kill somebody or if you rape somebody, you're going to get got.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of time. Yeah, because even if they don't have anything on you, you better hope that that none of your family members,
none of your relatives,
decide to use Ancestry.com or something like that. And I think
Ancestry.com they won't share. I'm pretty sure.
They can if they were ordered to.
Because the people that shared Joseph D'Angelo's stuff was like some weird fly-by-night place down there in Florida. That was like literally like, from what I understood, it was like somebody's in their like back. I don't know. It was like it wasn't one of these really big places. It was a smaller company that was like, oh yeah, we'll let you have everything you want. We don't give a fuck. Whereas like the bigger places are like all about privacy and shit like that. Yeah,
I mean, well. Yeah, okay. I'll tease it a little bit. I'll tease it a little bit because this episode, the NorCal Rapist is going to be a couple weeks from that because I'm releasing this tonight. So yeah, he was caught. They basically did a family tree. What they did was they put his DNA. The DNA that he had left at the crime scenes, he put his DNA into the CODIS, and they searched it, and then they found a match. And once they did that, they picked up everybody else that they put together a family tree on this person, and through process of elimination and everything, they whittled it down to Roy Waller. And it was really, go through a lot more detail of it in the episode, but still, yeah.
Same with Joseph D'Angelo. I think they had like his distant uncle, like a great uncle or something, and they were able to. And there was also another person in that family that they suspected. They were looking at them really strong. They were like, this might be him, but that guy was it wasn't him.
Yeah, it's but well, cool. We've got. Yeah, there it is. We've got the updates on BTK and on Willie Pickton.
So we got a broomstick in the head in one case, and we have a mystery in a laundromat in the other.
Yep, and we've got a bomb in the brain, on from Pee Wee Gaskins.
Yeah. Put this up to your head and tell me if you can hear my voice. Okay.
Beep.
I can't wait. We're gonna do him, and I'm gonna do all the impressions of him. You've listened to him. You did a whole show on him, so you know. Like, there's so many audio tapes of him talking, and they're so weird. He's got very unique.
Well, you see here, he sounds like Ross Perot if Ross Perot was a chain smoker.
It does. You're right. And that's the final truth, okay? And that is the absolute final truth of the final truth. And that's the final truth.
Yeah, I wish I had done more research on... I mean, we put out a good episode, but we could have done a two-parter on him. Easily.
Well, it's interesting because he was writing this biography with this English professor who was like a Christian and like very good person. And he told him, like, oh, I'm not a murderer. I killed people, but it was for money. It was like a mafia thing. I'm not like a sexual pervert. I've never raped anybody. And then after he got that guy to mail him bomb parts, that guy wouldn't talk to him anymore. So he got a new biographer, and he goes to his new biographer basically, like, what do you want to hear? And the new biographer's like, I'll give it to me dirty. I want to hear the worst. And he's like, I've been raping since I was 12. I raped a baby. And like, he just says the exact opposite. You know what I mean? Like, he's just... And that was his final truth. But there's no truth with a psychopath. You know what I mean? He just tells you what he thinks is fun to hear.
One or two of his coastal killings might have happened. The rest of them, horse shit.
Total bullshit. Yeah.
I can't wait to hear your series on old Pee Wee.
It's really interesting. You know, like I said, through the point of view of this English professor, like. And they had listened to this. Him and this English professor grew up miles from each other, like in the same state. They both worked at the Campbell Soup factory. They worked at the same factory together. They had like, you know what I mean? They're like only a year apart in age, and you know the one becomes a college professor and like a preacher, and the other becomes a serial killer. It's so crazy, you know.
We have something that, you know, we'll kind of from our episode that we kind of bring up from time to time. But this was a Todd thing. Whenever we talked about a serial killer's upbringing and about how he winds up in a boys' school, this is straight from the Wikipedia page. I just pulled it up, and I can't believe it's still in there. I cannot believe that it's still there. But he was sentenced to 5 years at a reform school, the South Carolina Industrial School for White Boys.
Oh, yeah.
And
that's probably the name, dude. It was racist as fuck there. He killed a lot of people. He killed people for race mixing and shit.
Do you think
he was a racist.
Do you think that was really the name of it, or do you think that was just an embellishment that somebody put in there? Because
I don't know for a fact, but I think it was the name. I think that was the actual name. Everything was segregated. Because part of his story is racism. He was a racist person. He's like and
one of his victims.
The whole state was.
Yeah, one of his victims he killed just because she was going around saying that the two of them were married and that her baby was his.
That she was pregnant by him.
Yeah.
She might have been.
Yeah, she might have. But
then he killed the other people. He killed because they were. He killed the baby because it was mixed race.
And every time in an episode we brought up like, oh, he went to a boys' school, Todd go for white boys. But you kind of just ruined it if you think that was the actual name of the facility.
I might be wrong. I might be wrong. I don't know that for a fact, but I do know that just all the research I've been doing on him, it was just an incredibly racist place, an incredibly racist time. He was an incredibly racist person. It was like race was a huge part of that entire thing. Just the South in like the 60s, you know, like Jim Crow laws were in effect. I just got done researching Samuel Little, and he was sent to a boys' reform school. And they talk about how he was sent to the segregated black section, and he was in with the black people. He talked about his first day there. They segregated everybody, and the black people were all taken off to a different area of the school. That was in Georgia. Wow.
Interesting.
It's really interesting because it's not that long ago.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? It's yeah.
All right. Well, there you have it. That's the update.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on. Always a pleasure to have one half of the mighty murder coaster on. And
Murder coaster.
oh, by the way, what we were talking about last night about October,
Yes.
about that collab that we're going to do, that needs to be a all hands on deck collab. So if that episode's going on our podcast as that week's and yours for that week, we're going to need Krista on here too.
Oh yeah, Krista will be on. Don't worry.
Well, okay. I have yet to meet her yet, so
You'll meet her. You'll meet her when we do that. I mean, she's really, she's like a best-selling novelist and a mom, and she works full time, and and she's just got, she's always doing like signings and readings. It's like really hard to get her I'm really lucky that she does the show with me, and I can get her to go with me. But she is a busy woman. And she right now is getting ready to fly to San Diego for the Stoker Awards, and she has been nominated for her new novel. Has been nominated for a Stoker Award, and fingers crossed she gets it. I'm so excited for her, and so excited for this.
Can the general?
We'll know in a week.
Can the general public vote?
No.
Oh, damn! Because I was going to post that shit.
Yeah, well, if you want to post stuff and just say, good luck, and hopefully she gets it. It's a game changer. It's a really big award.
Oh yeah.
It's an honor just to be nominated. She got nominated last year as well for a short story.
Sweet. Well, I got 2 books in the works. I don't know when they'll be done, but I've got 2. One's fiction, one's nonfiction. One is based on the April Fool's Day fake story that I did last year. And so far no other podcast has used it. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Although I wish somebody would, though, because it would put us on the map. Well, we're on the map. It would really put us on the map. It would put us on a bigger map. But Dust Bowl Killer episode 50.
We should do the crimes in Krista's book that she put out and make it say it's real.
That's essentially what this is. But anyway, all right. Well, thanks a lot, and definitely check out Murder Coaster, or as I call them, the Mighty Murder Coaster. And
thank you.
And stay tuned for our next episode, which will be coming out this coming Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. I was like, when do I release my own episodes? Thursday. So, which one would that be? Oh, that's the Attack of the Dead Men. The Dead Men episode. Yeah.
The Dead Men.
Real life zombie attack. So.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So, all right. Until next time. Later.
Later.
Hasta la vista.